Jesus, what has gotten into you guys? What did you guys have for lunch? It's a holy day today.
Oh.
All right.
Saf and his duo here, 4 eliminations, 62 players remaining, 35 duos total. And remember, everything you're going to see on your screen is NA East. We are in the 4th circle, 10 seconds till this one closes. And this is where things are going to start to get a little hairy. You've got moving circles. Wish from CLG and his duo, Zemi, still up there. Heartbreak on the outside getting lasered. Little left click hold down there from Wish, the compact SMG.
Zate breaking on out here, 4 eliminations so far. You saw Bizzle and DMO as well in this lobby, so stacked games. I did tune into some streams during the break as they get another elimination or knock here. And the first thing I took note of, Ben, Storm Surge, a major factor it seems so far in these NA East games.
A number of players, so anybody at home that doesn't know the Storm Surge mechanic, you have to be above a certain amount of damage dealt to other players. Otherwise, you will periodically, about every 10 seconds, get hit for a little bit of damage until you break past that threshold. It's a way to encourage players to be sure they're included in part of the combat. You don't necessarily want people sitting on the outside and waiting for the end game and doing nothing.
Yeah.
One duo you're not going to have to worry about that with is DMO and Bizzle. Bizzle, one of the most consistent players we've seen. This heavy sniper, I don't know if you noticed, Bizzle's got a boom bow. The combo there of knocking down the wall and immediately threading a boom bow shot in. That arrow can hit for quite a bit, but so can the heavy snipe.
It makes it easier when they edit a window for you. So DMO with basically a free knock right there, and this combination they're using right now, they've used it to secure the last 2 eliminations they've gotten. Make it a 3rd tag right there. This is scary stuff to see.
Probably a little misstep there. Bizzle dealing 100 damage to himself. A little bit of a yikes. The player sticking out of the top of the building over there. I will say that heavy snipe into boom bow shot combo is lethal in the right hands.
Stinks landing on a DMO. He'll have to back up for the moment. Bizzle, so smart, expects another stink to be thrown, builds the forward ramp right there, and the stink hits there, so he's safe in his box. Quite the 200 IQ play. Does wind up picking up a big shield from his teammate because he had to pop his last little bit of healing in that slurp juice. Bizzle with a rift to go. And again, I do call, and I have said publicly before, I think Bizzle is the most consistent Battle Royale player I've ever seen in these different VR competitions. Every single time, it seems he makes it right on into the top 10. He's the winningest Fortnite player in total prize money in history with over $500,000. And he's going to go ahead and pop that rift early on with his teammate as they float towards the zone. 40 players remaining, 24 duos.
It's funny you mentioned the winning prize pool that he's picked up over his career thus far. Put in perspective the fact that when the World Cup finals happen, whoever comes away with #1 there immediately breaks all records on the spot. That's how momentous of a prize pool it is.
But fortunately, in that transition, you see Bizzle's able to land and secure an elimination, but it's DMO who gets one, but then is immediately traded by this duo of Silic and Davon. Bizzle tunneling on out. Building on the high side, you see Saf and Zate still alive, playing on the low ground for the moment.
Zate there, 6 eliminations. The barcode name doesn't necessarily make it the easiest to know if you're at home and not super familiar with the players and their teammates. But we assure you that is in fact who it is. Saf tunneling his way through there, layering with the metal.
Am I dumb or am I not thinking of why they'd make a barcode name in this game? Because it originated in other games because people didn't want to give away. There was no such thing as anonymous mode or streamer mode as they have in this. But in this, having barcode, I think just does nothing.
Basically, yeah.
So now I'm just mad at Zate.
That's pretty much what it is. There will be a tweet from Courage later at Zate, which is probably just an angry face. That's it. The 120 from above catches the rotation. Saf secures the elim. 6 total for this duo at this point. 19 duos remaining, 26 players total, and 3 seconds till this circle closes. We're coming up on circle 8. The pressure is going to be extremely high right now. Boombo shots from underneath as Zate's attempting to knock any of the branches above that he can. Maybe keep people on their toes, or a potential mistake, a reaction from somebody. A shot from above, and Rainey pays the price. 7 eliminations for Zate. His accuracy extremely good in reaction moments like that.
And the difference from 125 health to 175, immense. It makes all the difference in this late game. Saves you from dying with one shot to an RPG. Helps protect against that shotgun damage. Yeah, they claimed this floor. It doesn't appear so as of yet. Now they get it. The shot goes in. You see the player below frantically trying to return some fire. Hasn't happened as of yet. Zate continuing to put the pressure on. Down to our top 10 teams now. So already a monster 12-point game for this duo as they look to continue to rack up a score. Saf with one just off to his right. Saf now under 20 HP. Bizzle still alive, gets the elimination onto Wallhack Jack, a name we've seen many times in our passive competition. There goes Bizzle, down to the hands of Zate and Saf, and they're going to continue to push on through, looking for more limbs.
One underneath, directly underneath. We'll see if he can catch that elimination. DeClies looks like he does, in fact, go down. Zate is sitting on 10 of his own, the very edge of the storm. 168 total health and HP. He can survive a heavy snipe shot. He can also survive a player dropping in, gets the shotgun shot. Timber goes down, walls off, and gets the follow-up. Every single player he can secure at this point is huge. Another one. K-Dude drops down out of nowhere, but Zate can't get the victory royale as oovik from all the way in the sky. 2v1. He and his duo make it all the take the L disrespect.
Hey, Zate popped off that game, though. Obviously, a ton of help from Saf. You almost wish that Saf had a couple of those at the end, because you get the health on elimination, but because Zate was getting them all, he was still stuck at 30 HP that whole time and couldn't wind up healing until it was too late. As we move into our second game of NA East, you see 38 players remaining, 20 of them are teams. Layton's pushing up top, and this looks like a disastrous spot to be in if you're Tiki. Yeah, that'll do it.
You hate to see
elevation. They're having to go up this mountain outside Haunted Hills, and it's going to claim a couple victims.
Right at the edge of the circle, too. Literally maybe 3 steps away. Those ticks for 8, a little bit too much. Shuffly, you see flying through your screen right there, still in a baller. Camping up on the outside of the zone, a little bit of engagement. Other teams applying pressure, but they're in a pretty good spot here. They're essentially the cross section, the intersection between what is currently the safe zone and where it's going to end up. You see in the Haunted Hills section of the map, the bottom right corner there. 13 seconds until the circle starts to move. A handful of teams still on the north side of the next safe zone, outside of where they will have to finish, which means the rotation is coming relatively soon. Expect third parties from the hill that is in play, a large portion of it. You do have a duo on the far north side hugging a corner up there on the bottom of the hill. They're going to have to rotate relatively quickly. Camp and Tough just kind of waiting, biding their time. They're looking for opportunities, Jack, to take cap fire. Camp says, I don't really like the fact that there's somebody immediately next to us. Taking some spray shots from the side, trying to force engagements.
It's even more enticing for them to peek that, because they were getting sprayed from so many different angles. You saw that player kind of in a panic build, gets caught underneath their own ramp, and whoa, you gotta be careful about all your surroundings. Tough gets hit by a pump shot there. Thankfully, the player does have to back up because there's help. There's Ghost Ghoul. Spam building on up.
Chong and Ops all the way up top. A supply crate in their hands. Squanch and Ranch above them. Aroa and Pen hanging out all the way up top.
The duo we saw a lot yesterday.
A top-down view. It does not surprise me to see them yet again in this position. Compact SMG, legendary. Green AR. The ultimate high ground, 2 sinks, 3 minis. A very good kit, but no mobility, Jack, which means they've got to probably move relatively quickly.
Well, here's the good thing for them. They're already above the height of this mountain. Everyone else is going to need to build up top towards it. This is almost going to be one of those zones where, yes, they're going to have many people rifting and launch padding, but they're going to almost want to time this perfectly. One player build out, one player try to spray. Once the other player's built and is safe, they can then turn, spray on down, swap positions, kind of rotate together. That stink just did a ton of damage to those 2 players down low. And that's actually a knock onto Chung, brilliantly done. Here comes the build out. You already hear the rifts beginning, but again, because they have this height, they want to look down and try to farm as many players as possible. NPen taking shots towards the top side, Aroa taking shots toward the bottom side, as everyone's trying to sneak on through.
3 more duos need to go down before points start racking up for whoever's remaining. We're almost at 15 duos remaining. Everyone's on rotation. A handful of players had launch padded. You had a duo that rifted and were flying in from all the way up top. Ops and Chung. Ops popping a rift, getting out ahead of this thing. 132 builds. He's great on materials, but no shield, very little healing. He's got 1 bandage to his name, and that's it. And he's landing directly on top of other duos in this. He's in the safe zone.
Yep.
He's fine where he is in terms of positioning, but look at the number of players the silhouettes through and the 1 bandage. It surprises me that this has not been challenged yet. And he starts, the lasering happens. Watch for players on rotation. Gets a knock on the outside in the storm out there. Doesn't have to finish because he knows that player is not savable at this point. Multiple E11 players still in zone. Tough and camp here in their own little building on the side of the hill. And that is going to get forced to move here in a second, but not before they dish out some damage with the rockets, Jack. 11 RPG rounds still in there. That rocket ammo is going to be huge as we push into the late game.
Yeah, Camp needs some limbs at this. Not only for the points, but man, it would be good to get some shield, and just like that, Vertnex caught slipping. But as I say that, almost the same thing happens to Camp for a player up top. Does gain 50 of that HP back, so no longer under 50 health. Back up towards 100, 2 more players, 1 level above. Do they try to edit him down? It doesn't appear so. A quick swap and elimination onto Jacob, 14 health, but again, another 50 HP about to be earned from that knock. You'll see his health bar jump up here momentarily. Teammate and Tough still alive. And oh, again! A player gets dropped down, but that was Tough with the quick... Oh no, the quick reaction time from Ghoulx. Can Camp try to get revenge for his teammate who just fell there? NPen all the way up top. Is Arroyo still up there? Yes.
That duo
yes, they are.
Top down. The entire rest of the field feels like it's stacked up very tightly at the bottom. You have, I would say, 12 of the remaining 17 players all the way down.
Yep.
At the bottom, Janet goes down. Moboy and Jacob. Jacob's already out, but 5 eliminations here. Picks up his 6th elimination. Gets immediately yoinked by COD Genesis.
Hey, they got top 10. They got those extra placing points. Another elim. All things considered, you got to be happy with that. Ghoulx and Edgey raining down fire from above with that assault rifle. COD Genesis now gone. Dotsy near 1 shot. Daxor very weak as well. See, 0 elims. 1 more placement will at least earn them more points. There's 1 knock. Okay, there's their first point of the game. Well, first elim point of the game. Nice job rotating through the outside, not panicking. But now 11 HP Lupo. This looks just so bad.
Luckily, Graska has 3 med kits at this point. We'll see if he can use 1 to pick his teammates' HP all the way back up, but not yet.
They saved Daxor. They saved Daxor right there. There was a player down low with a heavy sniper that tried to break on in, not able to secure that elimination. NPen and Arroyo beginning to drop on down. You got Ghoulx and Edgey still alive. Chakish, 1 level below. He's actually going to drop down to the E11 players. We've seen E11 with representation, obviously in Europe and now as well as North America. 1 player for E11 already qualified again today. That was Stompy.
7 players left, 4 duos total, which means there's only 1 solo in here, Jack. 1 player on his own. I believe it's, yep, Chakish. Right smack dab in the middle, a sandwich between the 3 other full teams still up here. Not everybody's full on HP or shield, but it doesn't matter because every single shot counts. Graska and Daxor are in a 2v1 down at the bottom. Daxor ticking there. It's a 1v1 at the bottom of the map. Meanwhile, up top, absolute chaos. Aroa all by himself. A 1v1 against Ghoulx. We have multiple 1v1s. Aroa dropping all the way to the bottom, looking to pick off anybody that is stuck down below by themselves. Aroa and Graska stuck in a 1v1. Ghoulx has the top down. Edgey ticks out. All he has to do is wait, and Graska's going to tick to the storm. And there it is.
That was a storm tick victory. We haven't seen that in so long. But it's Ghoulx who comes out on top, winning that high ground advantage. I believe he either got... Oh, what happened was he was taking the tick storm. Because he got those knocks, he gets the health on a limb back.